Shalom set apart ones. Have you ever wondered why Psalm 127 verse 1 says, "Except YaHUaH builds the home, they labor in vain that built it. Except YaHUaH guards the city, the watchman wakes up in vain." And also pondered on this familiar verse, Proverbs 14 verse 1, which reads, "Every wise woman builds her home, but the foolish breaks it down with her hands." What comes to mind when we think of a wise woman? To be considered wise is something everyone desires. But to understand what it takes to be a wise woman, we need to go into the Word of the Most High. A wise woman, who is she? Where is she from? What is her potential? What is her purpose? What must she do? Throughout Scripture, our foremothers, Sarah, Rivka, Abigail, Adasa, Jochebed, Deborah, Proverbs 31 woman, to name a few, they had wisdom by their side. We could all look up to these wise women and those within a community. What do they all have in common? By what power did they build their home? Every wise woman builds her home. She is spirit from YaHUaH. He gives her wisdom. Her purpose is to build, and she listens and obeys Yah. A wise woman is a spiritual woman. In John 3 verses 6, Yahusha answered a ruler of the Yahudim who questioned him about his miracles. He says in part of teaching to him, "That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the spirit is spirit." Her spirit is from YaHUaH. It is YaHUaH who breathes life into a wise woman. We read in 1 Corinthians 12 verses 6 to 8. "And there are diversities of powers and manifestations, but it is the same Elohah who works in all and through all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit himself and others. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit." Yah gives her wisdom, and wisdom is her power within. Proverbs 9 verse 10 reads, "The fear of YaHUaH is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding." Yah tests her until she is ready to use her full power. Her purpose is to build, help, and serve. Proverbs 24 verses 3 to 5 says, "Through wisdom is the home built, and by understanding it is established, and by knowledge shall the rooms be filled, with all precious and pleasant riches. A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increases strength." A woman is not building to become wise. She is first made wise, then she builds. She listens and obeys. But the foolish breaks down with her hands. She is her flesh from her imagination. She uses her hand to destroy. She discards wisdom and turns away from YaHUaH. If YaHUaH is the one who builds the home, how do you know you are building for him or for yourself? A wise woman operates in the spirit. She builds her home with the spirit of Elohim within. Her home remains unshaken and lasts forever. A foolish woman operates in the flesh. She builds her home in vain, because soon she will break it down. With her hand she destroys it. With the power of wisdom through the Holy Spirit, our foremothers had built their homes. We have witnessed that wisdom has been around from the beginning, and there is no better sister than wisdom. Now, Israel, it is the perfect time to operate in that same spirit of wisdom. Our Hebraic heritage is to be wise women who build our home, our forever kingdom within. Let's reconnect to wisdom, our sister. Sarah, the mother of nations, was a wise woman. Scripture tells us, "Look to Abraham your father, and Sarah that bare you, for I call him alone and bless him and increase him." As Scripture tells us to do, we should look to her, not with our human eye, but through the lens of the Spirit of Elohim. Let's take a look at our mother Sarah. Sarah was a woman who feared YaHUaH, her Elohim. She respected her husband Abraham and called him master. Abraham's Elohim was her Elohim. Yah's command for him was also her command, and she listened and did Yah's commandments. In Genesis 12 verse 1, YaHUaH said to Abraham, "Get out of your country and from your family and from your father's home to a land I will show you. I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing." Furthermore, they departed Haran, Abram, Sarah, Lot, his nephew, and all the substance. Sarah not only feared Elohim, but she also listened and obeyed his voice. As Yah commanded Abram her covering, she left her country, her family, and her home for the land she did not yet know. And Yah says, "I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing." To simply put, there she will build a nation. Sarah trusted Yah's word. Her faith is so strong in Elohim, and she allowed herself to be guided there by her husband. Our mother Sarah will not just build a home there. She built a great nation that will birth many nations. Yah called her out of her country, her family, and her home to build a nation, and gave her great wisdom to nurture and build great nations. YaHUaH said to her husband Abram, "Lift up now your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward, southward, eastward, and westward. For all the land which you see, to you will I give it, and to your seed forever. And I will make your seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall your seed also can be numbered. Arise, walk through the land, in the length of it, in the breadth of it, for I will give it to you." Then Abram removed his tent and came and dwelt in the plain of Mamre, which is Hebron, and built there an altar to YaHUaH. As we can see, Yah gave her wisdom to become the mother of nations, and he also provided her the land forever, and the home she was building was a nation. Her seed is like the dust of the earth. It is powerful to listen to her life story because YaHUaH made all these promises while she was still barren. We read in James 1, "Knowing this, that trying of your faith produces patience. But let patience be a perfect work, that you might be perfect and complete, wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of YaHUaH, who gives to all men liberally, without reproach, and it shall be given to him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavers is like the waves of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed." It is time to ask ourselves, are we of the spirit or the flesh? Is everything we have built, things we have done in our life, our marriage, our home, and community, built in vanity? Are we wise or foolish? Are we building or breaking? Being wise is a gift, and building is a privilege. Let us put our faith in YaHUaH, then fear him. Through the spirit of wisdom, we can build our home, just like Sarah who built, and like our foremother who built Israel and nurtured it. Let's build Yah's kingdom within us.